back again. Shady's back, tell a friend. Guess who's back, 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 guess who's back. Welcome to the Highlander Clan Playbook. You are hosted today by those dirty fobbits, those bone breakers, and tonight's special guests, the Ring Dingers, a.k.a. the Moose Killer, a.k.a. Joel Jess, a.k.a. JJ. I don't even know if you use JJ, but if I were you, I would definitely use JJ.
You know, that's not original.
That's
not that original. Anybody with a initials can go by JJ. That's not,
I'm just saying, if my name was Jack Johnson or Johnny Johnson, I would definitely be a JJ.
Yeah.
NJ doesn't really roll off the tongue, so
That's why they went Nicky.
That's a good point.
The Moose Killers. I completely forgot about the Moose Killers.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about danger.
Last year, Joel killed a moose while the season was going on, and he changed his name to the Moose Killer, for those of you new to this league. And the pictures were incredible.
Fantastic.
It was week two of the season that happened.
If you wouldn't mind posting that picture in the thread.
I can do that.
Yes. Thank you. So, here we are, week 2. I just wanted to start off with a little moment, a memory I have, we both have. Tim and I will do a little moments. I think Tim's moments of Joel is more deeper than mine. So Joel and I don't think we really ever had close classes together. So until Mr. Kruger's class. And I think it was world history or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
That would have been modern world history.
Oh, thank you. Modern world history. And we sat in this little 4-plex of desks. And it was me and Joel and Ryan Broughton.
I think so. And Luke,
and
right?
one other cat. I don't remember who that was. But Joel had this retainer. And I will never forget this. He would spit it out kind of and do this little, he was like, ah. And we hooted and hollered over his, at least I did. I was dying. And so today I thought a little shout out to that. Do you still wear the retainer?
Of course not.
I know, never mind. Oh, anyway, thank you for that moment. It still resonates up here. So, Tim?
I really remember. Yeah.
Don't even remember it. So I went back to the yearbook. The old class of 99. You can see it. Takes one to know one yearbook.
Tim, bring your screen down. Bring your screen down a little bit.
Bringing it down.
There.
You're right. Maybe being able to see myself on this would have been useful. In any case, I thought you ran cross country. Didn't. But I went back to the yearbook because I thought you did, but you didn't. But what did I come across? Who's this little fella right here?
Oh, my goodness.
Congratulations, Jolie.
Jolie.
Now, we talked about JJ. We talked about Moose Killer, Ring Dingers, Jolie. I don't know. I love it.
Jolie.
I love Jolie as a nickname. I think that this was one of my favorite portions of the yearbook. And there was Jolie hanging out. 3rd grade-ish picture, I'm guessing?
It could be. That could be, 3rd, 2nd grade. I think I might be missing a tooth on that one. Front teeth.
Maybe that was probably just pre-retainer time.
Retainer time for sure.
Pre-retainer era.
Yeah. Jolie, what my mom would call me all the time. Jolie.
Oh, fantastic.
To this day?
Probably, but it's been going on for so long, you don't catch it anymore.
You don't even think about it.
Yeah, you don't want to think about it.
Here we are, week 4. Some of us have made it to week 4 prettier than others. And we have our guest host tonight, Joel Jess. So, Joel, what's up?
What's up,
Since
guys?
1999.
Wow, since 1999. It's 20 years, right? I made a flub in the room and thought it was the 10-year. So that's maybe showing a little age, a little my mind going a little bit. But, it just is a breeze, right? Just kind of one year after the other, just as you get older, time seems to speed up. But, after 99, I went to, the big campus of Bellevue Community, stopped around there for a few years, and I got this wild hair of wanting to learn astronomy, and I was searching around for schools to transfer at and landed on Northern Arizona in Flagstaff.
Oh, the Lumberjacks.
The Lumberjacks. So you're looking at a
shout out
Lumberjack alumni here. But I didn't graduate with a astronomy degree. I soon learned that I didn't want to be a cooped up little nut, stargazer or whatever. That was some tough stuff. The math. I don't even know if you really can call it math. It's crazy stuff. But switch it over to Parks and Recreation Management. Graduated with that. Took me a few years. I went full time, part time, and bounced around. And I spent down there maybe 2 or 3 years. So moved back up here about 15 years ago now, and just hanging out. And last 5 years, and been married and have a kid now. She's a year and a half. Let's see, I've been working at Boise Cascade for the past 7 years, just a outside sales rep, which is a pretty cool gig, a lot of independence and freedom in that, so I like that. And it's just really cool. Certainly I think, the 20 years for us, we started with kind of the first parts of the internet and being able to web browse and all that, and we get to experience this cool thing of social media, Facebook, and use cool things like Skype to all keep in touch. And I think Tim, 2-3 years ago, reached out to me and said, "Hey, I got this other league going on. Are you interested?" And I'm a bit of a fantasy football junkie, I suppose. This year I'm in 5 leagues, which is, I'm going to have to scale it back. But let me tell you, this will not be on the chopping block. This group here this year is a lot of fun and a lot of banter, a lot of conversation, and very active. I think already, week 3 already. I'm telling other leagues I'm in this other league, man. Old folks from high school. We got guys and girls, and it's very active. It's like almost everything you want it to be in a fantasy football league, and so far no one's been offended or upset about maybe a trade or anything.
We'll get there.
There's always me throwing in those conditional type transactions, for better or for worse.
Yeah, week 1, we'll get there.
We'll probably recap a couple of those in our trade discussion later on, but that's where I'm at. Living in Bonnie Lake, Washington, and it's all good stuff,
What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Elise.
Elise. Okay.
Yeah.
I should know that. I've seen her pictures on Facebook. Before we got on tonight, Jax was here. Tim brought Jax up, and Tim's got 2 kids. Well, 3 kids technically. So taking care of business. I have a dog, so that's cool. His name's Henry.
Well, Julia wanted to see Jackson.
Yes.
I was telling Steph, we're starting to think over here that the biological clock in California might be ticking.
It is. But it's also nice to sleep in. And
I get up at 5 every morning.
so I actually get up early too. But Jules likes to sleep in. So maybe it's Jules.
Yeah.
We'll get there. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But this is a fantasy football podcast, video cast.
Whatever Luke wants to call it these days.
And let's move on to last week's matchups. So, do you mind if we start with the Bone Breakers versus Players Unknown? Luke Pickett, you are known, my friend, and you were talking a lot of smack And now I see, I mean, it was close, don't get me wrong. But somebody turned out to be 3-0, and somebody is now 2-1. The end score 123 to 117 and change. The battle for 3-0. We both, either one of us had a chance at that. The Buddy Bowl, as you call it. Digging that trade I made with Paula.
Working out for both of you.
Both of it turned out to be like an even trade. Drew Brees putting up 40. Galladay showing up, baby. Loving that he's showing up. Melvin Gordon doing his thing. Kenyon Drake disappointing. Clement was not the right pick, I guess.
I did the same thing in another league.
I have had the worst luck with defenses this season, so I'm trying to maybe see if I can figure out if I can pick one up off of the waiver wire. Luke played well. Juju's gonna Juju. Alan Thielen, Aaron Rodgers was looking. I mean, I don't know how long that guy's gonna last.
I know it's gonna fall off. That leg's gonna fall off one of these days.
Man.
Lewis and Disley really let him down.
He's gonna be out there in a wheelchair just throwing, and they'll let him.
And they'll let him
so much.
as long as he doesn't get tackled.
It was a close match. Luke's homerism did him in with Disley.
Oof.
I did not get dissed by Disley. The 1 week that he didn't play well, so we'll see if he bounces back.
You missed the mark there on Robert Woods for that week.
Say that again.
I missed the mark there on Robert Woods sitting on his bench, 33.
Oh, yes, 33 points.
And Lockett. Lockett's down there too for 18 on his bench.
So he picked the wrong Seahawk.
You picked the wrong. Well, it's a tight end. You couldn't put Lockett in for
yes.
this.
Good point.
But Nelson Aguilar didn't do him any favors.
And he had been so hot too, so
Yeah.
I don't blame him for playing him at all. So, anyways, tight match. I was a little worried.
I enjoyed the smack talk on that one. Luke brought it pretty hard there before Breeze went into overtime.
Oh my God, that was incredible. This guy.
The illustration.
Which one?
The boner breakers.
Oh, yeah, he brought it.
Yeah, Luke loves to talk shit. Yeah, but
this is the first year. He's really competitive, and he's chipper.
Well, I think that is a bravo or a little salutation to how cool this league is.
Could be.
Could very well be. The next matchup, thank you for the win, Luke. I appreciate you. That was nice.
Much appreciated.
The next matchup, I'll let you guys take the lead on the. Joel's leaving. Wife, thank you.
He's getting that power cord. You got to get that charger.
Okay.
Yes. So Joel and I competed. I worked hard to try to break 90.
Jolie.
A little short. Yeah, Jolie. Me and Jolie. I worked hard to try to break 100. Fell short of 90. I'll get there. Yeah, what can you say? It's no good. You talked about having trouble with defenses. I've had trouble with defenses. I went back and looked at the top available kicker right now. You just go to players, kicker, top available kicker thus far this year has scored 29 points. Thus far, through 3 games, I have 3 points from the kicker position.
Wow.
6 points from the kicker position. People talk about the kicker position not mattering. Oh, it matters.
It matters.
Oh, it matters.
Look at Luke's bench. He's keeping Greg.
He got the leg. He's got the leg on the bench. Hashtag kickers matter. Kickers' lives matters too.
Yes, they do. And Joel, give us a little play-by-play of how your week was.
Jolie, okay, yeah.
Kind of looking back at it, and certainly knowing that this podcast was going to come up, taking notes just throughout the game, paying attention to it, or just throughout the week, right? I think Tim and I pretty much had all our players going in the morning. I think a good swath of them were in the morning. So that was a little unusual. You like to kind of spread it out.
Yes.
Carlos Hyde plays on Thursday. Miraculously scores 24 points.
That was
incredible. That there kind of made the trade worth it, I think.
Yeah,
and then,
that was one of those where you didn't just get kicked in the junk. It was by somebody with a really wide foot.
Bro, that was a dagger in your heart.
Oh, it hurt.
Especially for how crappy of a Thursday night game that was.
Yeah.
Baker comes in and shit just happens. And, I wasn't even watching the game. So, end of that night, I'm like, holy crap, 24 whatever points by Hyde, awesome.
Tears on the pillow. Tears on the pillow.
Combined out of the running backs, so Carlos Hyde, Tevin Campbell, 37 points. I think that outscored Tim by like 1 point. It's not like a huge outscoring out of that position, but needless to say, it's still pretty cool.
Yes.
And for probably post trade, that part of my team is not the elite part of my team. So very cool.
How are you feeling?
Got wide receivers on lock, bro.
Yeah, and talking about that, when our notes and kind of this pre-pod was we were talking about lineup changes, and Tim, you did kind of let it a little bit out of the bag there on the last podcast. I was definitely paying attention, and I don't think it helped you very much when you made a little comment like, we might need to review like what we kind of talk about and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that helped me kind of validate what you were thinking. So I was like, take a closer look. However, it was not an easy decision of putting Fuller in over this guy. Looking at the matchups,
that's going to be a juggling act for you going forward, having those four guys.
I was just kind of going back, like, which one of those receivers am I going to sit, over Fuller? They're legitimate, RW1s or WR. So,
Scurvy.
The one thing that keeps me a little sane about that is that if you had started Keenan Allen, you still would have beaten me by a good 30 points or so.
Yeah.
That's why that doesn't hurt quite so much.
And there wasn't much on your bench either, Tim.
Thank you. You're right.
In case you didn't know.
Even when you want to maximize your performance, right? You don't want to leave any points on the bench. You also want to make sure I pick the right lineup this week. So that's a little bit more of a feather in the cap of like, hey, not only the wins are always tricky. You don't know if you're going to win week to week and all that crazy stuff happens. Look at Vikings and Bills.
Yeah.
I would have thought that, like, look, I should have sat Diggs and started Fuller, but there's no way you could have predicted, both not having the night, not having the day. So when you sit there and go, okay, I maximized my lineup, then that's what you can do. Unfortunately for Tim, maximizing his lineup gets him 83 points, so that's tough, and that puts you at 0-3.
Well, luckily the points don't carry over to the next week directly.
Yes. Well, I think they do in a tiebreaker situation, but that could just be me.
That's why I said directly.
Okay, gotcha. So moving on to the next match.
I'll throw in there also, I had chosen the Dirty Fobbits to come through for me. Nick, you had Ring Dingers there. So that's one
and
for you.
You got your bell rung. The joke still works.
It was. So.
Say again, Joel.
It was projected to be closer for sure. So, pleasant surprise for me. But
they all are for me. I get that projection right there. My guys go ahead and they underperform for me every time. Good.
But you know what? It can't get it can get worse, but you're at the bottom now. It's just straight up. Huh?
Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go but up. Or deeper in the hole. But whatever.
We'll see, Strike Force.
We shall see. We'll get there.
Oh,
the next match at Folioli versus Strike Force. And Strike Force strikes out.
They did.
They did big time. And the end score 131 to 119. I mean, I guess Jeff was close, but they both go to 1-2 now, and that's not the best place to be. Fitzmagic shows up for Jeff. I love that he picked him up, solid, and he stacks him up with Mike Evans. They both played crazy. Didn't look like they were in the beginning of that game. Antonio Brown, 17 points is great.
Yeah, keeps plugging along. I don't know. Right now, I would take 17 points out of my receiver position.
So I guess it depends on who you're talking to.
It's all about perspective. But you're right. Strike Force Chris Thompson came back down to earth a little bit there.
He did. I thought he was going to stay hot and just keep on going, honestly.
Okay. I didn't.
Gronk, where you at?
He's going to be huge this weekend, I think. If I had to pick a high score for the weekend, I'm going Gronk.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be a little more studs and duds action.
Studs and duds. Well, hopefully not this weekend. I mean, that's just my prediction.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully he just duds along, but we'll see.
Yes.
Chris Ivory. What a ballsy call that was.
So, LaShawn McCoy is out, so they had to put him in, right? I mean, is that...
Well, the Bills did, but Folioli didn't have to.
Yes, that's a good point. That's
a gutsy call by him.
And was that like the luck of the Folioli?
Yeah. Well, now that I look, his entire bench scored 0, so I don't know if he had a choice.
Oh, that's what it is. Well, yeah, Gordon's not playing, Bell's not playing, Edelman's not playing, Mack is injured, Cook is injured. So
hey, never mind. I was trying to give you some credit there, Folioli, but you're the one bench that I outscored.
So nice win. They're both 1-2 now, so I'll take it. The next match, the ladies, the #MeToo Bowl.
Yes.
It is on
goods apparently.
Cookie Bowl. Yes.
Cookie Bowl.
Or was it mac and cheese? I don't remember. Anyways, I wanted both of them. I actually owe Joel some cheeseburgers still that I haven't paid up on. So.
Well, that league dissolved. So the league's dissolved, and along goes all conditions of transaction.
I love the way you think, Joel.
Well, but the old days of the USFL and Steve Young still getting paid. His little royalty check or whatever.
I'm just glad that league's dissolved.
There'll be a new one.
XFL back.
That's
back. Did you know that?
What's that?
The XFL.
Oh, is it? I never saw it. I was overseas when it was on. I never saw it.
I think it's getting a comeback.
Good. I was interested in the start to those games, that they just run at each other, like dodgeball style or something.
Apparently, I saw a little thing, and they said they had learned from their mistakes, and they are going to make it better this time, and blah, blah, blah. If you haven't seen I think it's ESPN that does a little 40 for 40, or 30 for 30, or whatever it is. 40 for 40. They do a little piece on one episode on that, and it's really entertaining.
I'll check it out.
So back to the ladies. The Wookiees win 131 to 128 and go 3-0. Kind of getting me a little worried as the only other team to go 3-0. And peas nuts. I mean, this was a hell of a match.
It was.
131 and change to 128. That is nothing to sneeze at. Like Paula brought it, and Chrissy brought it. It was probably the best match of the week.
It's that overtime again. Matt Ryan, 40 points. Oh, what do we lose, Nick?
Yep.
I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay. Getting 40 points out of that.
Yep, 40 points. I don't know why, Nick. I lost you. I can't see you on here anymore.
I'm here, but you can hear me, no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
As long as you can see us, that's the important thing.
Yeah, I can see you guys. My screen went black. I don't know if whatever. I'm back. And it's still recording, so we're good.
Guess who's back?
See, it's the theme of the night.
It's the theme of the night.
Uh,
That matchup to be within basically a field goal. So
There we go. The kickers again.
these are different.
And the trade worked out for her. She's got McCaffrey doing his thing. John Connor, 14.5. Awesome. Matt Ryan, who she picked up off the waiver wire, going crazy with those. Was it 3 touchdowns to Ridley?
Yep, 3 touchdowns to Ridley. One of them for 75 yards. That was crazy.
And funny enough, if Chrissy would have started Ridley, that would have completely crossed each other out, you know?
Yep.
They vetoed each other. But Chrissy's got a strong team.
Solid. Jay Wilkins there is the one hole, or RB2. She just doesn't have one.
Right. But she's not afraid to trade, and I've been looking over the waiver wire. Everybody's on the waiver wire. Everybody's involved, it seems like. So,
For the most part, I'd say we got about 10 out of 12 going here pretty good, I think.
Is it 10 out of 12? We
10
won't
out
name
of 12.
names.
No, I'm not going to drop names. Name calling? I don't know.
All right.
Should we? You can go on the transactions list there, sort by name, and see who's being a little more active than others.
I like that.
Yeah.
Any other points on this game?
No, just Wookiees is just solid. They just got a solid team. They're going to be tough to beat. You got some competition there at the top, for sure.
Tara sure is good.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Chrissy. Just kidding. The
next nobody denied that.
They paid the fee. Did they split the fee?
See.
Did they split the fee, or did Chrissy pay the entire fee, or how's that going to work out for them? And if she wins, is she splitting?
I think it's a
splitting the winnings.
Yeah, there must be a percentage that she gets a cut. You know, you can't get it all.
Yeah, like an admin fee or something.
Consultation.
Maybe like $1 per transaction she can sit on or something.
So the last matchup here, the Mark Herrera Highlands versus Garrick and the LSN, or the London Silly Nannies.
Oh, you threw the whole name in there.
Yes, the Silly Nannies still being silly. 0-3.
Hey, they just didn't want to leave me. Garrick, he's a nice guy. He didn't want to leave me hanging down there by myself. He's a sweetheart.
He's always thinking about others, and he wants to make sure that everyone is involved.
Yep.
That's it.
We got it pulling up here. Chris Carson. Is he the Seahawk to own?
It seems like it. I think Penny who? He's nothing to be done. Carson's been doing his thing. Was this just a weak matchup? I don't know. But he seems to be the guy. Hunt shows up with 2 touchdowns, finally. Brady? 8.52 points?
Ooh,
what's that about?
I was playing Brady in another league. That made me happy.
Is the dynasty over?
God willing.
Right? Ain't that the truth?
Willing.
What else is missing in this game? Mark's team's great. Kamara's great.
Yeah, Kamara. I think if I could go back, Kamara would be definitely in contention for top overall pick.
Yeah.
I think.
I got him in my other league where I drafted 6th.
Yep, I got him in a league I drafted 7, and very happy with that.
Could you imagine if first 2 picks you got Kamara and Thomas?
I got Kamara and McCaffrey, and I'm pretty happy about that in that league.
Just as a stack, though, like running back, wide receiver, that would be, usually I don't like to stack those up, but in this New Orleans case, it just seems like those guys just are point machines.
Yep, they're on fire.
Kyle Rudolph shows up for Mark. He's doing his thing. He actually stacked up the tight end and Latavius Murray, the running back from Minnesota, and we all saw what Buffalo did there. So
that was crazy.
That was crazy. Like, nobody saw that coming.
I couldn't even explain it. I was trying. I had nothing.
It was in Buffalo, though, right?
No.
Oh, it was at home.
It was a home game. Unreal.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's wild. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Mark's team's looking good at 2-1. He's scoring a lot of points. I think I looked over the point scores, and let's just see this on points for. Mark has got the most points with 435 overall over the first 3 weeks. I'm at 422. Chrissy is at 416. Luke is at 412. Peas Nuts 391. Ring Dingers 383. Strike 478, etc., etc.
Etc., etc.
I don't want to make anybody feel bad. But you can find that if you aren't already familiar with the app under the standings. At the top there, PF means points for, PA means points against. There's the waiver wire and how many moves each team has made, etc. So that's another little point for anybody who's interested in that.
Yeah, a couple thoughts. One, you had chosen Peas Nuts over Wookiees. I took Wookiees, so I caught up with you one on there. And we missed one. Bosworth Simple Jack All-Stars there.
Hey, my bad.
Missed that one. You chose Bennett and the All-Stars. I took Larry, so you're up one on me right now.
Okay, I'll take that.
Take it.
I'll take that. Very well. So what's the score? 1-0?
Yeah, 3-2 technically. So
okay,
yeah, 1-0. That's easier, I think.
Let's keep the solid number there. I like that.
Yeah.
I thought Bosworth was going to do his thing, but Simple Jack pulling on through, and I love that.
Rivers and Mike Williams. Who knew?
I love it.
Yeah, he had starters receiver that week.
Mike Williams is the new Antonio Gates.
Maybe he's the new Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen's injury prone, so that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Whoever owns Keenan Allen might want to sit him again this weekend. I don't know.
Yes. Oh, shit, Tim, you shouldn't have said that. Yeah, Keenan Allen's great. I love that Keenan Allen. What a player.
Good one. He's good. He's great. Absolutely.
I definitely would start him this week.
So great. The greatest.
The greatest. What else on that one?
Kelsey.
Rivers, patty cakes. Yeah, I think that Bosworth's going to have a boom bust team. Just kind of looking at his roster, he's got a lot of guys that are going to be like either really great or really solid.
So he's a little stud and dud too?
No, I'm leaving that one strictly for Jeff, especially given my matchup with him this weekend. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to see on this one, I guess we covered it earlier with Calvin Ridley sitting on the bench for Christie's team, but Julio Jones, bro. Like, why don't they get this guy the ball in the end zone?
He's got the targets in the red zone. They just can't connect. I don't know.
So weird.
It's weird.
So weird. This guy is such a monster, and he can't. This Calvin. Well, maybe he's drawing the better defender, and so the number 2 guy's getting all the touchdown opportunities.
I don't know. He's still getting the targets. I don't know.
Full and the Will Fuller.
I got 9 points from my wide receiver too last weekend, so I would take what Julio's given him.
Gotcha. Okay, moving on to the trade talk.
Just one?
That it's just the one this week. It's yours.
Yeah. So looking at my roster, Luck has not been so lucky. I think depth of target there on his passes, and I think 5-6 yards maybe. 13 points consecutive weeks. Needed to make a change. And so looked at the Steelers' schedule. It looks good. Pretty good schedule. Their defense is crap. I heard a little nugget on a podcast that going back to when last year, this last week, Big Ben, number 1 overall.
Hold on. I didn't catch all that. Joel, did you catch that?
No, I don't know if it's microphone or just maybe.
Start over and let me hear that again.
Well, I don't know where it started. Maybe we'll just start with the trade talk. I'll lean forward a little bit here, get a little closer. Can you hear me now?
I don't know if it was the connection or what, but it started to fade out there.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, so just talking about the trade, we had Quincy Enunwa and Sony Michel, free Rex Burkhead IR for Big Ben. Felt like I needed to get some stability at quarterback. Luck had gone 13 points or less for me for 2 weeks in a row. Just wasn't clicking, wasn't working. Did a little research on Ben. Schedule looks good. Heard a little nugget on podcast going back to week 10 of last year. Big Ben's the number 1 overall quarterback in fantasy. Rolling with him.
And she needed the wide or the running back too.
Right. Yeah, so Sony Michel will be a good running back too for her. She was starting Jordan Wilkins of the Colts. Sony Michel's got more work this last week, and then with Burkhead going out, he's just going to get more work. So we'll see what he can do with it. I think James White's the running back to own there, but we'll see.
Yes, we will see. So that was the only trade of the week. I guess we'll go into this week's matchup, and I think we should take Joel's vote on who he thinks is going to win each matchup as well.
Can we talk waivers 1 second?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So talking waivers was a little quieter this weekend than last. It was more, it looked like kind of wide receiver centric. I'll say I liked Mark picking up Andy Dalton. That was fantastic, I think. Stuff's happening weird on my screen. I'm just going to roll with it. Wanted to talk a little bit about waiver priority. So for those of you that don't know quite or are quite as versed in waiver priority, how that works, if you look at the main page and where you look at what the standings are, if you click View Details on the app, or if you just look over to the right, say waiver at the top of the column and a number, 112, underneath that in that column. That's kind of your priority for when you're going to go pick people up during that waiver period. So the lower your number, the more likely you are to get whomever you want, right? So I was wondering, Nick, I know you're a big waiver priority guy. You like to not pick people up. What are your thoughts on that? Not pick people in order to save the priority.
So for me, it all depends on the week. If I really need somebody, I'm going after that guy. But right now, I feel really comfortable with my lineup, and nobody that was on the waiver wire would be anybody that I would plug into my team this week. So I would rather not put any waiver claims in. That way, the guys in front of me who did put a waiver claim in, they go to the back of the list, 12, 11, whatever. And I move up a notch closer to the number 1 priority. So maybe next week, there's some injury for some player, and there's a stud or a sleeper or whatever on the waiver wire that because I waited and have a higher waiver wire pickup, I might be able to pick up this little gem of a pick. And because I was a little more patient with my waiver wire choices.
So you go more about immediate, who can play for me this week?
Yes. I see where you're talking about, like there could be somebody down the line, and there could be, maybe there's an injury going on already on a secondary player or a second wide receiver or something, but if I can't put them into the lineup and they're just going to sit on the bench, I'd like to just keep that kind of in my back pocket. And then, a little secret to the trade, I wake up at like 4 a.m. on, is that Wednesdays or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Wake up at like 4 a.m. and get on there to see what the waivers have gone through and who's still available. And if there's somebody that's just like, okay, he's there, I guess I could switch him out, I'll make the move.
Yeah. I'm up at 5, so for all of you people that want to get up before me, do it to it.
It's weird, like Wednesday morning, for some reason, I just wake up automatically earlier. I'm like a fiend. I'm crazy. I get up.
How about you, Joel?
Fantasy football Christmas for Nick there.
That's it. You gotta appreciate the little things. Joel,
I'll contrast. I'm a user of it. I just use it up. And my thinking, I understand the higher priority. You get those better players. Somehow Geo fell to me. I was at 12, and Geo fell down to me there, which was a pleasant surprise last week. But I don't mind staying at the bottom. It makes me feel like I can just churn them out.
well, you are at the bottom in last place already, so I guess it's just feels normal to you.
To be at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's getting comfy down there. Luckily Garrick's there to keep me warm.
What else? Oh, FOB.
FOB, yeah, so free agent acquisition budget. If you don't like this waiver priority system, another option is FOB, F-A-A-B, that you might see when you're out and about. And it's just basically a bidding system that I completely lost everybody. Are you still there?
Yep.
I'm back.
Okay.
I don't know if my computer's getting too hot or what maybe we're using up too much. It's fine. We're still back on.
Okay. Yeah, FOB. You're given an arbitrary amount of money, $100 for the season, and you bid on free agents. So if I really wanted Gio Bernard in my other league that I do this, I had bid $32 or something like that. And you just carry that money throughout the season, and once you're out of money, you can't bid on free agents anymore. So kind of makes it a little more competitive and a little bit more, it benefits the active player a little bit more, I think. And it allows you to kind of gauge how much you think other people are going to be bidding, and it's just another element that's pretty fun, I think.
Joel, have you ever done one of those?
Dollars, or is it sort of fake $100?
Fake $100, not real.
Oh, okay.
So it could be $100, it could be $200. You're given a limit of money to be able to spend on free agency.
For the entire year, yeah.
Correct.
So I could have conceivably gone and bid $100 on Gio Bernard last week, and then for the rest of the season, it's only free agent pickups for me.
And on a point of that, so James Conner wasn't that big of a deal. You could have maybe got him for $1 or $2 before everybody thought Le'Veon was going to come back. But instead, so if you were smart about it, you could have spent like a couple bucks and saved yourself all that FOB and had such a super stud for this season. Yep. So
exactly.
Great point. So something to think about when maybe comment on the thread that would be something that's interested in you.
Yeah, something for next year for sure. Not introducing it this year or anything.
No. But next week, let's talk about auction leagues as well. We'll throw that on.
Oh, I'm horrible at those. They're great.
Okay, so at least we can chat about it and see if anyone's interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you miss anything or cover everything you wanted to on the FOB?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions, though. Put them on the message board.
Funny that the FOBits brings up the FOB.
FAAB, though, not FOB.
I know, but it was funny. Let me feel like I'm somewhat humorous.
Just enjoy your first place, okay?
Thank you. I will, as long as possible. This week's matchups. I always seem to start with myself, but that's only because my phone on the app, it always starts with myself. So don't get mad at me. The Bone Breakers versus our guest host tonight, Jolie. I'm hungry. I'm hungry for you, Joel.
What are you thinking? Are you just going to be biased and pick yourself?
Yes, that's what I will do. So make sure you mark that down, Tim. I'm assuming you're going to pick your own self.
Yeah, it's going to be
pick me.
It's going to be a close projection. We know that. So it's going to be a matter of, do I pick the right matchups again on my receivers, and how does everybody perform? Am I going to get 25 points out of Carlos Hyde again? But probably not. Tevin Campbell, though, he might swing around, swing back from, I think he had a down week last week, and he's kind of the only running back in Atlanta right now. So we'll see.
You're a little tight endless.
Yes. That'll.
Am I bold enough maybe to just say screw the tight end and maybe I beat you with, what is it? How many positions do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe just 9. Maybe I just beat you with 9 players instead of the 10, Nick.
I would love that. I would love that. I would love to see that.
So,
We limited the bench a little bit more this year. It's made things a little interesting.
Aha.
I'm certainly hoping to, take that perfect record of yours and get you a loss in your column. And get
I'm sure Chrissy would love that too.
Do a nice record myself. Get to 3. What do I lose? 3-1 if I win this week.
Yes, that's correct. That looks good on paper.
Yeah.
How are you going to decide the wide receiver shuffle? Got 4 of them. Can only start 3.
Oops. The Thursday night games always scare me, but there's some injuries on the Rams, which kind of screws it up. The other thing too is, maybe talking a little bit about matchups and setting your lineup is we're only in week 4, and they say these teams are, the top-rated defense against the run in the pass, and how do you really know that 4 weeks into the season? Is part of some
Right.
of the so,
Yeah, you're right. You look at those opponents, and like the Fobbits, they've played 3 teams in the top 4 or 5. So maybe that's the only reason they're at 0-3.
yeah, so we'll see. I'm probably going to have to sleep on it a little bit. Maybe I know for the Thursday night game, I'm going to have to go with Cousins. He's my only QB option, so, you could go crazy with Adam Thielen and Kyle Rudolph as far as I'm concerned. That'll make me feel better. Feel better if I end up sitting Diggs or.
Yes. Yeah,
Well, I
always
won't comment on the start sits. I'll keep that to myself. But I do have Diggs in another league, and I'm doing something with him.
Just tell me this. Who are you starting?
Or you're starting it, right?
Who are you picking?
I am going with Bone Breakers. There's not a tight end in there.
That's true. That's true. But when he does put it in, he probably will. Well, I guess.
We have the matchup.
Let's see
Oh, you know what I realized?
The projection.
You know what I realized? My screen keeps going black. It's my sleep. It's the sleep. I'm not moving the cursor.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's like
doing
315 or whatever it is. I'll just move it. Be smart about it. Joel, can you see me?
I just see your profile picture there.
So weird.
Okay. Out there, but I don't see you live.
Whatever. All right. I picked me. Tim picked me. Joel, well, sorry, buddy. It's nice to meet you.
It's going to be close.
It'll be close.
Why they play the games? Tell that to the Bills.
The next matchup, players unknown versus those silly nannies. Here we go.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think Luke's falling victim. He's got Dion Lewis and Vance McDonald in there. Is that better than Lewis and Disley? I don't know. I'm going with Garrett.
Are you really?
Oh, I am.
Oh my. Okay.
We're getting rid of these losses. This team this league. This league is going to be a league full of teams that have won.
Okay. A really competitive league.
Mm-hmm.
Super competitive.
That's the goal.
Did you guys see that Vance McDonald stiff arm?
It hurt me.
Wow. That was incredible.
I think that guy's on the IR now.
Good, he should be.
Really? I think he really is.
Or embarrassment, or like a legitimate injury.
A legitimate injury, I think, but embarrassment maybe.
So that should be a good matchup. It's rated pretty tight on the points guess. So we'll see. I like that Luke doesn't have all Seahawks in there, so that's good for him.
Right.
Who's next
Arce.
here?
Chris
Oh,
Carson for the win.
does he show up again and the next week, or is he just hit it and quit it?
Nope, he's in. He's gonna take it to the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, the Cardinals stink.
Yeah. Chris Conti, torn PCL Monday night. That's the guy that Vance McDonald's stiff arm to hell. Yeah.
Think it happened on that play?
No.
I'd like to believe it did.
Okay.
The Folioli versus Peanuts.
Who did you pick for the last game?
Who did I pick? I think I picked Players Unknown.
Oh, how about you, Joel?
You know, I don't know. It's close enough. Is Brady really going to bounce back? Do you see him going 3 games in a row?
Yeah, because Jeff has Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's done. Brady's done. That's over, bro.
Okay.
I'm going to go Luke. I'll go Players Unknown on that one.
Yes! Yes! Somebody that really knows fantasy football. Somebody who's not 0-3 gives a great opinion. Anyway, whatever.
I cannot wait to get a win.
How many leagues are you in, Tim?
Just 3. Just 3. I had done the 5 thing one time, and that was too much.
I'm only in 2, and I like less leagues so I can focus on it more. And then when you have other players, I try and actually keep my teams somewhat similar because I don't like to root for other players when they're playing against me on the other team.
I'm doing it this week. I have like 3 guys that I have this week I'm playing against in one of my other leagues.
It drives me insane.
Hate it.
Folioli versus Peas Nuts. I'm taking Peas Nuts, mainly because she has a bunch of players that I used to have on my team. So I'm rooting for her. And I like Folioli, but I'm not the biggest fan of his team. Cooks is showing up. Croat showed up last week. Ivory's doing his thing. We'll see. I don't know if LaShawn McCoy's back or not.
Supposed to be.
Trey Burton really hasn't really done much for all the hype he got in the preseason. So
I was such a fan, too.
Yeah, me too, and I thought about drafting him myself. So, but we shall see. We shall see. I'm picking Peas Nuts. Who do you got?
Yeah, gotta go with Peas Nuts.
Peas Nuts. Joel, give us a Peas Nuts.
Peas Nuts.
Nice. Very nice. That might be the best of the season right there. Next on the docket, the other lady of the league, Wookiees on PEDs versus the Bars. I just like saying the Bars.
That's another close one. A lot of close matchups this week.
Super close matchup, and I'm picking the Bars because I don't want Chrissy to go 4-0.
We got another difference here. I'm going with the Wookiees.
Yes! Yes!
Gotta go with the Wookiees here.
Joel?
I'm going with Wookiees. She has Todd Gurley. That's the right there.
You're right. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Remember this moment, because I'm going to laugh next week on the podcast.
Denver's going to have the answer for patty cakes there.
Let's not get crazy here.
Denver hasn't shown up all season. Denver isn't Denver anymore, Joel.
They have an extra day to prepare.
You're right. You're right. That'll make all the difference.
I think Zeke's going to continue his tear, though. Zeke's going to be good.
And Julio's going to get a touchdown this week?
For who? For you? You think so?
No, for the Boz. Julio.
You picked the Boz.
That's what I'm saying. Julio's going to show up this week.
Oh, I thought you were asking. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, no. I think that's going to be the highest scoring game of the weekend.
Okay. I like that. I agree with that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some heavy hitters in that
Get some
match.
shares. Get some shares. Tyler Boyd might be rolling them out.
We shall see. The next matchup. Who do we not cover here?
We still got Highland Simple Jack, and we got my matchup.
Oh, yeah. So Simple Jacks versus Highland. Simple Jack with the win last week.
Simple Jack with the win.
I actually really like Bennett's team. And is Fournette starting or not?
He's projected to.
That's what they said last week.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll see. I don't know about you.
Kelsey's a beast.
Oh, he's a monster. I got him in my other league. I traded for him in my other league. I don't know how I got away with it. Actually, the guy had Ertz and Kelsey, so I got kind of got lucky.
Yeah, I'm thinking about working a trade for Kelsey in one of my other leagues. I got Russell Wilson. The other guy's a Seahawk fan. We'll see what I can work out.
I think everybody wants a piece of that Kansas City offense.
Absolutely.
I mean,
if I could go back in time.
Yes. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton, hot as hell.
I like it. That was a good pickup.
Love it. Great pickup. Tyreek Hill, Tyreek the Freak, he'll be back. Allen Robinson, I haven't been watching that guy. Has he been doing anything?
He's getting the targets. He hasn't been getting a lot of yards, but he's getting the targets. I'll tell you, Mark's a good player. Mark's a good fantasy player.
Yes, he is.
Eckler in his flex against the Niners. Smart choice. Huge. Love it.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he works at SpaceX, so does that surprise you?
And he does knucklehead shit.
Yes. He still hasn't changed that name. I'm still put the vote in. Joel, do you agree? Knucklehead shit?
Yeah, that would be a step up from Highlands, you know.
Right?
But,
I mean, I'm Highlands, and that's cool with me, but Knucklehead shit's got a ring.
Yeah, he's got to step the game up there, I think, on the team name category. But I'm picking him to win, for sure.
I am too. I'm sorry I can't go against you on that, so. Last but not least, go ahead and preview.
Joel, what do you think on that one? Highlands, Simple Jack?
Excuse me, Joel.
Yeah, you both pick Highlands?
Yes.
I'll go Simple Jack.
Woo! I like that!
With caveat, if Fournette plays.
Here we go with the conditions again.
There we go with the caveat. Tim tried to pull that last week, Joel.
Yeah, it didn't work. Had to make my pick.
Make a pick, Joel.
Simple Jack.
Okay.
No caveat.
No caveats.
Last matchup. Go ahead and go over it.
Yes, the Dirty Fobbits are going to take on the Speedo-wearing Strike Force jokesters here. They should be
the video did not work this week.
It didn't? I watched it.
No. I mean, the video worked. It was great. I laughed my ass off.
Oh, I loved it.
His charisma to put it out there in the universe that he was going to win did not go over as he planned.
No, it
but
didn't.
Don't stop that. Make that for you stopping making more videos, please. Strike Force.
Please do.
Make my day.
Yeah. My favorite portion was when he says, "I'm tough," as he's drinking the LaCroix sparkling soda. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Run down his roster a little bit here. Fitzmagic. I think he's running out of juice, personally. Antonio Brown. What's that?
Baltimore D is, Chicago D is tough.
Yeah, at Chicago. Probably won't be great weather at 10 a.m. It's going to be a tough game for him. I don't like that start for him, so keep it in there, buddy. He's got Antonio Brown. You say Evans tearing it up. His running backs not so much. It's gonna be where I make my hay if I'm gonna make. We'll see.
I'm sure he knows what he's doing when it comes to making a lineup, Tim. Don't give away any Will Fullers, will you?
I will not. I'm not. I'm gonna keep it to myself here.
Let's talk about your team.
Yeah, my side, Big Ben, gonna start him, gonna roll with him. Hopkins, what are you gonna do? Fitzgerald, we'll see.
Retire.
We got Rosen coming in. We'll see what he can do. I mean, I'm not looking for a 100-yard game. I'm looking for one of those like 6 for 60 and hopefully a touchdown kind of games.
Two Cardinals in the lineup, huh?
Don't remind me.
Homer and a Seahawks homer?
No, there's no homering with the Cardinals. I think I like the Cardinals less than the Niners, actually.
Because you were down there, so I was picked up some of that Cardinal love.
Oh, no, it was killer. It was killer. Even the people that live there don't have Cardinal love.
Interesting.
Gio Bernard, this is just what I picked him up for. I was expecting to be able to start him as an RB1 for as long as Mixon's out. He's great. Mixon comes back, and he's going to go to the waiver wire. And that's fine. I need a tight end myself.
Yes. Oh, so this is the battle for tight end. You guys better, as soon as we finish this podcast, you're both going to the waiver wire? Is that what's going on, to see who gets the best tight end for the week?
No, they're all a crapshoot. There's not a best one.
They all look like shit.
Yeah, it's all just crapshoot. So just kind of hanging out, trying to figure out who to drop. Do I drop Luck? Do I just hang on to him? Probably just going to drop him, I guess.
On that tight end talk, I kind of am happy that Baker Mayfield is in now, and I'm holding out for hoping that Njoku gets woken up, you know?
Yeah, I think that that Mayfield switch is good for him.
It's about time, I guess.
I'm a little scared of Golden Tate there, but we'll see. I'm picking myself, of course. I don't have a tight end, and that was the reason I picked against Joel. I don't have a tight end, and I'm picking myself, and I can do that.
I was going to pick you, well, because you picked you didn't pick me.
I did.
Oh, excuse me. I don't care. I'm picking Strike Force for the win, with a caveat that Jeff makes another video.
Oh, caveat.
Yes, and another caveat.
I just got a message from one Jeff Parks, actually, here. He's going to join us next week.
Okay. It's on. No, I'm picking Strike Force. I actually like your team better, I'll admit that. But the Strike Force is coming with fury, and you're going to get rained down upon.
What are you, his promoter? Like Bobby the Brain Heenan here coming in for Strike Force?
He's rubbing off on me.
You need to have more of a Hispanic tone to your voice there if you're going to be the Strike Force spokesman.
Strike Force is going to rain down upon you. Orderly.
Okay, all right.
That's okay. Next week, I'm bringing a LaCroix to the show.
Do it. I will too.
I might put a little vodka in there with the LaCroix.
Do it.
What do you say, Joel?
I probably won't.
I think a can of LaCroix should be your special guest over Jeff.
Love it.
Oh, Joel, Jess, I love it. I love it. Oh, couple more things. I know we're going to close out the show. One little section I thought we'd finish off with biggest bust, biggest surprise of the season. Joel, start us off.
Biggest bust of my team?
It's just in general. It can be your team. It can be just in general that you picked up on the season.
You know, maybe dovetail from mine and Tim's trade is David Johnson. And you guys kind of covered the trade last week, but just kind of throwing a little bit of my 2 cents on that is, you know, Tim and I were kind of talking back and forth, and we came up with this blockbuster deal. And I think one of the things I expressed in that trade, in that conversation, was David Johnson of, you know, I think he's my number 1 pick, but through two weeks, he wasn't performing like my number 1 pick. So that's kind of where maybe a little motivation came from me trading him and just seeing and thinking about that Arizona Cardinals offense being a little bit abysmal right now. But yeah, the biggest bust for me, I think I would say David Johnson, or guys that's not playing up to their draft position.
Agreed.
Boom's got to be Kamara. He's certainly far and above his draft position on that, and he's doing good things for Mark. So another guy that I'll mention is, or with Kamara is like somebody that everybody wants on their team. So that's where I've seen my boom and bust so far.
If you could choose right now, would you rather have Kamara or Gurley?
Probably Kamara, the pass catching, the Drew Brees factor. That, So, however, with Ingram coming back, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's why I would take Gurley. That's why I'd take Gurley.
They're still going to roll, bro. They're still going to roll. They
are. I'm not trading them. I'm just saying I'd rather have Gurley. Not a bad thing.
I'm taking Kamara.
All right. You want to go? I'll go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so busts David Johnson has been so far, I hope. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. I like how on the show, I'll leave you to that one. I know what one you're looking forward to talking about, Nick. I'm going to go a little bit lower. Derrick Henry. I think he was chosen in the 4th round. At the 4th round, I think if I had to choose right now, I would want Dion Lewis over him.
Yep.
And I was getting Dion Lewis in the 6th or 7th round of mocks. So I'd say that Derrick Henry is a bust, one of those more innocuous ones. And here's another one. I looked at the draft results. Ronald Jones was drafted in, I think, the 7th round, maybe 8th. Top pick of the 8th round, maybe. And hasn't been active for a game yet. Some people that were drafted after him. Patty Mahomes, obviously.
Woo!
Chris Thompson, who I think is the running back 15 or so. Will Fuller, Sammy Watkins, Kenny Galladay, and James White drafted after him. He hasn't even been active yet. So I thought that was interesting.
There was a lot of hype on him.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of hype on him. And what's funny is Tampa Bay has been all passing.
Yeah, that's the even more interesting thing. There was a lot of hype for him, and their running game sucks, and he can't even get active.
Wild. And but I don't think Peyton Barber's doing anything better.
That's the problem. Barber's not doing anything, and Ronald Jones still can't get onto the sideline.
That's wild.
Crazy. And my biggest surprise, the biggest steal of the draft or of the season so far is this league. This league is awesome. It's fun.
Yeah.
Good time.
This league is fucking legit. Pardon my language, but that deserves an F-bomb. Agreed. No, that's kind of, you're stealing my magic there. So for me,
I left you one.
Yes, you did. Biggest bust.
Yeah.
The Dirty Fobbits at 0-3. I'll just say this: as of week 4, the biggest bust. But there's a chance to turn around, right, Joel? What do you think?
I think it's going to start turning around for him. I think that quarterback is going to be a little bit of a difference maker, and now that he has played me, David Johnson will start turning around for him. So.
Well, I'll tell you, I've played the number 1, 3, and 5 teams, right?
Yes.
I've got the 6 through 11 teams to go through now.
That's a good point.
So we'll see. I'm not going to win. I'll tell you that much.
Nice.
Maybe you just need to play Strike Force every week.
Yeah.
We'd all go 12-0.
I don't know if there's enough LaCroix for that.
Other biggest busts, obviously Bell. Nobody could have seen that.
Haven't been in another league.
And accompanying with that, with biggest surprise, James Conner. I mean, I love that I traded and got my quarterback Breeze, but I'm not going to lie, peas nuts. I miss Conner. The guy was just consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, this guy's just incredible. Like, I hope he keeps it up. Wish he was on my team. Kamara, and Fitzmagic. This guy. Do you think Jameis Winston's coming back?
I think so. I think, I don't want to influence any lineups too much this week, but I think he's crashing. Crashing at Chicago.
So we shall see. Maybe the magic has run out.
Yep.
There's no bunny hiding in the hat.
Pixie dust only lasts so long.
So we shall see. Did we miss anything?
No. I'm going to get a win this weekend.
I am also getting a win this weekend. Joel?
That's funny because I'm win this weekend too.
That's
Plenty
interesting.
of ties that have happened this year. We'll see.
Somebody is wrong here.
Not it.
What happens if it is tie? What is the tie? What happens?
It's just a tie.
Really?
Yeah. I'd be shocked. It goes to the 100th of a point, doesn't
I'm
it?
just saying, what happens if it is a tie?
I think it just goes to a tie. You guys would be 3-0-1. He'd be 2-1-1. I think so.
Tiebreaker?
That's when we have the food eating contest.
I'm down.
LaCroix drinking contest.
LaCroix drinking contest.
Yeah, love it.
Joel, any closing words?
You know, this is a great league. A lot of fun. Just looking forward. It's been, you know, we're 3.5 weeks into it, and we're doing podcasts. Like, how awesome is that? This is the only league that does podcasts that I'm involved in. So this is really cool. I just see you guys putting this together and reaching out to folks that we've known for our entire lives, right? You know, they're going back to elementary school and all that. So just really looking forward to it and winning a lot of games. So.
Except for this weekend.
I'm looking forward to winning some games here and there too.
Yeah, maybe this will be the retainer game, Nick. And,
oh man, I could just see your face is gonna haunt me when you bring the retainer out of you brought it off your teeth and like did this little weird. It was like The Exorcist, but with a retainer. It was great, Joel. One of your best moments.
Yeah, and you know, for maybe a memory for Tim, I was just kind of thinking. I think Tim and I think this is the first time I went paintballing.
Oh, the old Bill and Jim's Excellent Adventure.
Fantastic. This motherfucker, he also took me for my first time. And I never wanted to go back. This guy shot me up no wonder he went into the military. I come around the corner, this guy blows me away.
No love lost. No love lost.
It's all in good fun.
Oh, it's all in good fun. And then I had like bruises everywhere. It was, yes. Hey, come paintballing with us.
They closed. That place has been closed. Too bad. Some good memories.
Yeah, I remember that class pretty well. That class was a lot of fun. I think that was like junior year. And,
Mr. Kruger was cool, man.
Yeah, so that's fun stuff, and I hope all the best for everybody in this league. And 20 years is coming up. 20-year reunion. Who's going to wear the kilt?
Hey, Mr. Kruger, straight or gay?
I gotta get my fitting done.
Mr. Kruger, straight or gay?
Ooh. I think I thought he's out. Like he says, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just curious. I never knew. I wasn't really like. I mean, I guess you're aware of it at that age, but I wasn't really aware of it, and I think I always questioned it. I'm not judging anybody. Just curious.
But I think there's evidence. Like it's this quote unquote this day and age.
Yes.
It's out there, and he's
nowadays it is. I think at that time it wasn't as much.
Yeah, but you know, in the words of Seinfeld, not that there's anything wrong with that. Right?
No, not at all. So let's not go down that road again. That was
we can talk about the tangent. But.
Yes, thank you. I'm off on my tangent. So I'm going 4-0. Tim's going 0-4. Joel's going 2-2. Lookies are going 3-1, and the rest we'll just see how that works out.
Hawk talk.
Oh yes,
Hawk's going 2-2. Gonna beat the Cardinals.
Can I tell you something? Oh, Cardinals. That's right. What fantasy has done to me is I'm more into my fantasy team than the Seahawks, and maybe that's because we're not that good, but Does anybody else notice that, or am I crazy?
Nope, I'm still into the Hawks. Look, we got a 12 flag up here behind Joel in his log cabin, in his dojo.
I'm not a Hawks fan.
Oh, little explanation here. This is my shed. This is my shed in my backyard. I figured, having it full of tools and lawnmowers or whatever is not a practical use of a shed. More
Yes.
of my fortress of solitude and trading, as I like to call it. But
Is that where you were sitting when we made the trade the other night?
no, that was done easily in my bed. That was an easy one to do, to put together.
Nice, good deal. No conditions, no criteria. Done
Well,
deal.
the conditions got X-made earlier.
Well, can I tell you, Tim? I think you got Joel.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Joel told you.
We shall see.
I set quite to earn that nickname.
Say that again.
I set quite the precedent in some previous leagues with you guys. Great, so
Yes. The last league as the Moose Killer, I pulled off a killer trade, which seems somewhat fair.
I think at the time, and there's different strategies going on with that, but I don't want to drag on the podcast talking all that.
Yes, you're right. Let's not drag upon that. So, on that notes, good night, everyone, and good luck this week. Anybody else?
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck to everyone that I picked.
I created a monster, cause nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want shady, I'm top liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I'll get you. A little bit of me mixes some hard liquor, some vodka,